afternoon and a warm welcome back to the Dolan Aqua Centre for session 2 of the Brodies Scottish Schools Championships for 2018. Welcome back, we're almost ready to go. We'll be going in about 4 minutes time. I'm Duncan McKinnell, and sitting beside me in the commentary box is Robert Taylor. Good afternoon, Robert.
Good afternoon, Duncan. Good to be back for session 2.
Yep, it's going to be an exciting one again. Had some fantastic races this morning. We start off with 400 IM. Katie Taylor, the fastest qualifier for the girls, and then Ryan Retson for the boys. He'll be up against Gianna Napolitano, who picked up medal this morning, so that could be quite a tight race in the 400 IM. Our youngsters do heats and finals as they did this morning. We've got the butterfly coming up for the 12 and unders first of all, just one length of the pool. Following that we have 200 freestyle. So it'll be some strong swimmers there. Youth squad member Sophie Smith, maybe the standout. And then Iona Macleod, who was slightly surprisingly beaten in the 400 free.
Actually, Duncan, yes.
Yep, she'll be up against Emma Russell this time, so that could be a very good one as well.
Yes.
Emma Russell going for Woodmill in Dunfermline and Iona Macleod for Harris Academy in Dundee. Then we have the boys 200 freestyle after that, and looking through that, Fraser Agnew, who was pipped down to bronze in the 400 this morning. He'll be looking for gold here. Duncan McKinney will be up against him, so that one again should be tight. Then we go back to the 12 and unders, 50 freestyle. So look out for the likes of Luke Hornsey for the boys, Jessica Dempster, Hannah Morrison for the girls. Breaststroke after that, and it's hard to see past Katie Robertson in the 17 to 19. She looked very smooth in the 200 this morning.
She was indeed, dominated that from start to finish, Duncan, winning by some 14-15 seconds.
Boys 200 breaststroke follows that. This, I think, will be much more even across all of the age groups. Looking at the 17 to 19s, we've got the Forfa swimmer Jack Green up against Glen Almond Junior Salkovskis. He's a bit of an unknown quantity to me. I must admit, I've not come across him before, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do from Glen Almond. Then we finish off the afternoon before we go to the finals for the 12 and unders with 200 backstroke. That's the girls. Katie Shanahan, you would think, will be very strong in the 13-14s, and when you get to the older ones, Ellis Shields had a cracking 100.
She did indeed, yeah. She won that very comfortably. It'll be interesting. She's up against Ellie Turner later on, so that has the makings of a very tight contest.
But we're ready to go then. Our first race is the girls' 400 metres individual medley, just the single heat here. Open, so any age group can enter this, and it's the fastest get the medals. Just run through the lineup for you. We have in lane 1 from Robert Gordon's College, Kirsty Stewart. 2, Yvonne Brown, who had a very impressive breaststroke this morning. She goes for Calder Side in lane 2. Katie Taylor of Linlithgow Academy is in 3. She's the fastest entry time, 5:02.50. Then we have Jenny Galloway of Boroughmuir in lane 4. Morven Adams of Webster's High School in 5. And Maria Caprelli of Grove Academy in lane 6. So through the first turn, time of 32.65. Katie Taylor getting the split in the butterfly. Good all-rounder Katie. You see her in the IMs quite a lot, probably strongest on freestyle. We'll see that at the end of this race, but going very nicely here on the butterfly. She's opened up a handy lead coming down the second length. Of course, 100 metres of each stroke. They'll go to backstroke next, and Katie then from lane 2 and lane 5. That's Yvonne Brown and Morven Adams. 1:08.86, so pretty much a 2-second advantage for Katie going into backstroke. You have a certain personal interest in this one, Robert?
I do indeed. The leader at the moment seems to be my youngest, and as you say, Duncan, she's got a good advantage at the moment. She'll want to build that advantage, certainly on the backstroke. Very useful on backstroke. Breaststroke, not her strongest point. And you'd certainly expect Yvonne Brown to come through strongly in the breaststroke. She had a very, very impressive breaststroke in the 200 this morning, beating Lucy Ross, which was a little surprise to us, but she swam particularly well. You have the leader at the moment with West Lothian cap. And she's extended that lead a bit. Looks to be about 7 or 8 metres.
It on the programme.
Yvonne Brown certainly well there in lane 2, Morgan Adams in lane 5. So the advantage was about a couple of seconds at the first 50, sorry, at the first 100 rather. And coming down to the halfway mark to 25.92. On to breaststroke, the advantage almost 7 seconds. Yvonne Brown potentially could be the danger. Yvonne certainly will come back at Katie on the breaststroke section. I expect Katie to turn somewhere around the 4-minute mark. Yvonne Brown, as you can see, there in second and just beginning to make some inroads.
Yes, she is making some inroads here. She's got an awful lot to make up, but she's going to give it a go here. You'd fancy if Katie Taylor is still in the lead at the end of the breaststroke, then she's pretty much home and dry, but well, that gap has shrunk. 3:13.17 for Katie, 3:15.02 for Yvonne, so the gap is down under 2 seconds now. And you can see them coming up, and you see Yvonne there wearing the South Lanarkshire cap, representing here, pulled aside, and she is definitely closing up here. The question is, will she give herself a chance in the freestyle? She really wants to be ahead if she possibly can be when they get to this next turn, and I think she might be. She's gone past Katie Taylor now, so this has been an enormous turnaround in the breaststroke leg, and Yvonne Brown now with a body length advantage as they go into the final 100. So let's see the time there for Yvonne, 3:57.69. For Katie, it's 3:59.35. So there's about a second and a half in it, but you would expect Katie Taylor to come back strongly here in the freestyle. Let's see if she can do that. What's she got left in the tank? Because this also is about endurance and making sure that you've judged it well enough so that you can pick up the pace in the final length. Out of your camera shot, there's a great race going on for third place, lanes 4 and 5. That's Jenny Galloway and Morgan Adams. But as they turn for home then, it is very tight indeed. Robert, can you see this one coming home? Who's going to get it?
Well, Katie Taylor just with about half a metre to make up on Yvonne Brown. Yvonne Brown's had a super swim. She's still hanging on there. Katie Taylor coming back. It might just be Katie Taylor edging ahead. Yvonne Brown still batting away. A little between the two as we reach the last 5 or 10 metres. Katie Taylor just looks as though she's getting up, but it's still a tight finish. It's very much on the touch. Katie Taylor just snatches that by 0.35 for a fantastic swim from Yvonne Brown. No, 5:07.46. And as you can see, a very fast finish. And just getting up to snatch third place, Morgan Adams, 5:17.85. So, as I suspected, Katie Taylor turning just under the 4-minute mark and had about 2 seconds to make up and just got it at the death. But a fantastic swim from Yvonne there, Duncan.
Yeah, that was an excellent way to get us started there. You can see the full results, 5:07.11 for Katie Taylor, 5:07.46 for Yvonne Brown. Here you see them coming in, and there was nothing in it as they go into the red zone. Well, you could see just the experience on the freestyle. Katie Taylor was enough, and I think she knew that she was home and dry. Didn't feel the need to look at Yvonne as she came in there, was on the other side, but well, she got the job done. So excellent start. We move to the men now, and so this is the boys 400 IM. Again, we've just got the single heat.
Lane 1, Graham Squires from Nairn Academy. In 2, Jamie McDonald from Stuart's Melville. 3, Ryan Retson from Falkirk High. Gianna Napolitano from DL. In 4, George Cowan from Arbroath High School. In 5, Mundell Derham from Bell Baxter was in 6. And Ryan Retson in lane 3. Gianna Napolitano taking it out very hard in the butterfly, as you would expect. Very strong on butterfly, Gianna. She's already won the 200 this morning. Big ask to try and beat Ryan Retson, senior silver squad member. Ryan. second at national age groups. There's two heading Jamie McDonald, as you can see on the screen, holding third at the moment, still with Gianna Napolitano. But here comes Ryan Retson. So after the butterfly, little between the two, or camera shot. It's Ryan Retson, 102.68, 102.71. Very tight at that first 100, Duncan.
Yes, it was. Gianna, very strong flighter, as you said. And you'd expect as this race progresses that Ryan will start to dominate, but it's not happening yet as they go down the first length of backstroke. Still Gianna just has the edge, and Jamie McDonald is moving up pretty nicely here. Youth Development Squad member from Stuart's Melville College, trains at Warren de Baths. He was fourth recently at the East District age groups. We'll see what he can do here at East Kilbride. Certainly getting himself in contention with the two ahead of him. If you focus on them now as they come down the second length of backstroke, and there you see Jamie coming into shot, and just up at the top you can just make out in lane 5 George Cowan of Arbroath High School in fourth spot. And it is Ryan Retson now just starting to open up the gap. He's got a metre and a half's advantage as we come to the halfway mark. And going through, looking pretty relaxed, you'd have to say. 2:15.84 was his split. He leads by about 8/10 at the halfway mark. Jamie McDonald third, 2:19.50, so he's around 2.5 seconds behind Giano.
Breaststroke's probably not the 40 of the two lads in front. If anything, it's probably the weaker of the four strokes, but compared to the other lads, they're still battling away pretty well. Ryan Retson just beginning to pull away a little bit, trying to extend that advantage. Certainly expect him, if he hits the front with 100 to go, very strong freestyler. Moment, the advantage just under 2 seconds, 2:56.83, 2:58.51. Jamie McDonald still comfortably there in third. As you see down this last stretch of breaststroke, beginning to pull away. It's Ryan Retson. It's gone about 4 or 5 metres clear, and you can't see him losing it from here, Duncan. With, just over 100 to go. The Falkirk lad looks as though this one's in the bag.
Yeah, we've still got to do the work, and I'm sure he'll do that. He's got about 4 metres at the 300 turn. 3:37.93 is his time. 3:40.88 for Giano, so about a 3-second gap between them now as we focus in on Ryan. Potentially big season for him here as he starts to look towards transitioning from junior to senior ranks. The 18 this year, his final year in these championships, I would think. And he heads for home now, a long way clear. 3:50 split, 4:09.84. So Ryan now completely in charge. He's up by over 5 seconds. You can see there that it's getting closer for second place, with Jamie McDonald now putting in the challenge on Gianna Napolitano. So that's where the contest is. Still Gianna does hold second. You just see at the top of your picture. But Ryan Retson a long way clear now. This is going to be his race by a very comfortable margin indeed. Let's see what his time is. He comes in 4:40.82. Now the race for second, Giano is going to hold on to it. It was tighter as they finished, but he was never really threatened. 4:47.86 for Gianna Napolitano. 4:48.60 was the time for Jamie McDonald. So that will be the 1, 2, 3. Retson, Napolitano, McDonald. 4:40.82 the winning time. That we'll see that confirmed. There you have it. Focus there on Ryan Retson. Very good all-rounder, Ryan, isn't he? And you see there in the freestyle is certainly not that faster, I think, coming in at the finish of a race, but it was job done, and no need to kill yourself once you'd already got the job in hand.
Just coming back to that last race, it looks as though lane 6, so lane 6 was disqualified for a technical infringement.
Yes, it looked like he didn't finish, in fact.
May not have finished. That's
So 50 butterfly is next, 12 and under girls. And there'll be 2 heats, and the fastest 6 will progress through to the final. We've got presentations before that, though. Our IM swimmers will be straight up to the podium. What would swimmers do without their mobile phones? So we have the swimmers on the podium now for the 400 IM. Bronze medalist there is Morven Adams, Webster's High School. Silver medalist Yvonne Brown from Calderside. The Scottish Schools champion from the Lithgow Academy is Katie Taylor. So she had a fight, but she came through strongly, coming back after losing the lead in the breaststroke, coming back strongly in the freestyle to take the gold. So these photos, you can see the flashes going. They'll be available on the Scottish Schools Swimming Association website and social media as we go. The boys 400 IM presentation, just seeing them making their way up to the podium now. And Jamie McDonald there, picking up the bronze, representing Stuart's Melville College. Silver medalist from DL High School is Gianna Napolitano. And the gold medalist and Scottish Schools champion from Falkirk High School, Ryan Retson. IM is done and dusted, apart from one last photo.
the most important thing, get the photo shoot at the end, Duncan.
Yep. Make sure you look your best. 50 butterfly then, as I said. 2 heats for the girls.
So the top 6 qualify for the final later on. Hayley Armstrong, Lasswade in 1. Lexy Anderson, Noble Primary School in 2. Chloe Barn from Morriswood in 3. Lexine McCappin, Queen Victoria in 4. Rachel Maguire's Antithesis in 5. Grace Stephen, Blackridge in lane number 6. Very good start on this near side. Hayley Armstrong from Lasswade, coming through strongly now. Lexi Anderson from Noblewood in lane 2. She's also been challenged by Chloe Barron. It's the girls in 2 and 3. Lexi and Chloe at the head of affairs. Hayley just dropping back a little bit. Lexi Anderson in 2, having a good battle with Chloe. Lexi and Chloe, and that's going to be our 1-2. Let's see the time. 33:40 for Lexi. Chloe 33:76. Hayley Armstrong, our early leader, 35:21. So 33:40, that could be good enough to get her into a final. We'll see. Follows.
Yeah, big improvement for Lexi there on her heat time, our entry time of 35:55, so she'll be happy with that. The second heat then goes Kate Carruthers of Watson's in 1, Ellen Mathia Valentin in 2, Grace Courtney of Loretto in 3, Heidi Wren of Burns Primary in 4, Emily Grist of Fortrose Academy in 5, and Mia McLeod of Murrayfield in 6. So 33:40 we saw in the first heat. Good starts by Kate Carruthers in 1 and Grace Courtney in 3. It looks like it's Grace now starting to assert herself in lane 3. Beside her in lane 4, Heidi Wren also going well, but I think she's going to be battling for second place. Mia McLeod up there as well in lane 6, but this is Grace Courtney by quite a margin, and 33:46. Well, that is 600ths only slower than the first heat, so there's going to be an excellent final there.
24.48 for Kate Carruthers in second, and Heidi Wren taking third there. So we'll find out the finalists shortly, but certainly Lexy Anderson will be there from the first heat and Grace Courtney from the second. Boys up next.
So Adam Curry from Glebe Primary in 1, Ben McLaughlin, Kellens in 2, Murray Dixon, Beckenhurst in 3, Scott Fleming, Grace Middleton in 4, Kyle Mitchell, Kellens in 5, Bobby Carlisle, Chapel Hall in lane number 6, Murray Dixon, Scott Fleming in 3 and 4, going very well. It is still Murray Dixon from Scott Fleming. He's just pulling away, Kyle Mitchell in 5 coming through, and Ben McLaughlin in 2. And Ben McLaughlin in 2 is certainly challenging both Murray Dixon and Scott Fleming. But Murray's going to take this from Scott. 33.50, 34 dead for Scott Fleming, and 34.15 for Ben McLaughlin. So 33.50 is the time the next 6 have to beat to get into the final. Just grab it, Duncan, coming up in this one.
Yes, he has been in fine form every time I've seen him for the last, year, I think. So we'll see what he can do here. The full field, Finlay Davis of Cornbank in 1, Bailey McGinley of Maniston in 2, Stephen Kravis of Windygall in 3, Kieran Lennox of Newmacker in 4, Max Pelosi of Hutchison's in 5, and Rory McLeod of St John's High School in 6. And look at Stephen Kravis go. I mean, he's already got more than a body length lead from Kieran Lennox, who's no slouch, so it is going to be the swimmer from Windygall Primary in Trinent in East Lothian. He is going to take this by a mile. What a swim! And that was a time of 29.78. Well, and he is, he's only an 11-year-old, in fact, at the moment, at 12. Yeah, swimming at 7. He stands up and has a look at that, and he'll enjoy the sight of that. 29.78. Kieran Lennox of Newmacker in second. But, Stefan Kravis has to be a nailed-on favourite when the final comes.
Certainly does. Might have a battle for second and third, but Stefan replicates that in the final. He'll be well clear. So almost 3 3/4 seconds faster than the other boys.
And under 30 seconds.
Under 30 seconds, and it's only 50 metres.
Yeah, very good indeed. 200 freestyle is next. We start off with the 13-14-year-old girls, so we're now to 2 heats with the fastest 3 over the 2 heat. We'll pick up the medals, no finals in this. They field in heat 1, Drew Mackenzie of St Margaret's in lane 1, Kerry Gillespie of Robert Gordon's in 2, Sophie Hall of Morriswood in 3, Jenna Cole of Bells Hill in 4, Mari Craig, Stirling High School in 5, Hayley Seagal goes in 6, Musselburgh Grammar. So here we go. This time it's 4 lengths of the pool. And fairly even Stevens coming down as they settle into the race. Lane 3 certainly up there, Sophie Hall of Morriswood. Beside her in for Jenna Cole of Bells Hill. They look to be 1 and 2. You can see there Sophie wearing her club cap of Warrender as she comes through to the first turn. And she does have the lead, but not by much, 31.63 against Kerry Gillespie in second place, 31.72 and 31.79 for Jenna Cole. So the 3 of them all much of a muchness. Others in the mix as well. Drew Mackenzie in lane 1 is certainly up there and not too far away from the leaders, but does look like lane 2 and 3 as we come up towards the halfway mark. Almost sunshine there, flecking down from our beautiful panoramic window that we have here at the Dolan Bar. So I wouldn't say it's a glorious sunny day here in East Kilbride, but I've seen worse. Through the halfway mark, just 300s in it, as Kerry Gillespie this time getting the touch, 106.62. But it does look as they go down the third length that Sophie has the lead back, so a little bit of nip and tuck between these two. They're gradually pulling away from the other 4, who's still pretty close in the race for third. But it's Sophie now opening up maybe half a metre's an advantage as we come up to the 150 turn. and she goes through that 141.37, a lead now of 6/10. 142 dead for Kerry Gillespie. Third is Drew Mackenzie by 3/10, 144.38. And we focus on the two leaders here, and Sophie Hall holding that lead of about a metre, but it's beginning to shrink now because Kerry Gillespie is picking up the pace as they come down 15 metres to go, and they're now pretty much side by side, and it's Kerry who has got the momentum here, but Sophie has time to respond, and about the touch, oh, so close. It goes to Kerry Gillespie. 2:15.70 for her, 2:15.79 for Sophie Hall, and third place was Drew Mackenzie in 2:19.72, and there is the full result. Yeah, you can see them coming in together, and you thought maybe that Sophie was going to just get that one back, but well, it's all about getting that hand on the wall first, and it was just Kerry who did it by 900ths.
So second heat has Laura Murray from Dunblane in 1, Jenna McLean to cover in 2, Natalie Jones last weighed in 3, Katie Hay Granton in 4, Megan Horses from St David's in 5, Eve Mayer from Grange Academy goes in lane 6. Very the Granton girl, Katie Hay, and probably about half a metre advantage over Natalie Jones from last weighed over on the far side. Eve Mayer also going well. 30.49, it's just over a second faster. Two middle lanes with the advantage. We're just beginning to pull away. About a body length over on the far side. Eve Mayer just holds third place. And, change of leader here. It's now Natalie Jones, youth development squad member, East District champion. Just coming through to take it up at the halfway mark by about a metre or so. Katie Hay sitting second, fourth place Scottish Summer Meet. Third place is now Jenna McLean. It's 104.75. So almost 2 seconds faster. The three middle lanes, as the seating would suggest, just beginning to pull away from the rest of the girls. The race is certainly on for second place at the moment as Natalie Jones goes 2 or 3 metres clear. Katie Hay and Jenna McLean battling it out at the moment, and that battle at the moment being won by Jenna McLean. She's now gone a clear second. Eve Mayer still in there with a chance over on that far side, 1:39.96. So this certainly is Natalie Jones's race. Second place still Jenna McLean, Katie Hay and Eve Mayer. And it's Natalie Jones who's going to win this by some margin. Second place at the moment still looks good for Jenna McLean. No doubt about Natalie Jones going to take this one. Well clear as we get into the last 5 metres. So Natalie Jones will take this from Jenna McLean and Katie Hay, 2:14.74. Jenna 2:16.88. And Katie Hay is our third place swimmer, just 2:18.37 by just over half a second. The second and third place swimmers actually swam a little bit slower than the girls in the first heat. So Kerry Gillespie and Sophie Hull, we should find our second and third. No doubt about the winner. Natalie Jones at 2:14 will take the championship. She'll be our Brodies champion for 2018.
Up an age group now, the 15-16 years 200 freestyle. Again, we've got 2 heats. We've got a full field for heat 1 with Ria Colbridge of Laswade High School M1, Katie Cooper and Mary Erskines in 2, Karen Heath of Clifton Hall in 3, Jenna Gilmore of Hamilton Grammar in 4, Louise Beattie of Culloden Academy in 5, and Annabelle Wright of Afford Academy in lane 6. So we just saw in that last heat you can get medals from the first heat, so let's see how these girls get on. Karen Heath has the fastest time of this group, 2:11.34 on the podium at the East Districts recently.
And she is just, well, maybe not up there actually. It looks like maybe Katie Goodburn, the Youth Development Squad member, has the advantage on her in lane 2. So it's these two at the moment, and Katie leading them towards halfway. Maybe about a metre up as they go through the halfway turn in a time 1:04.69 for Katie, 1:05.21 for Karen. So 6/10 the gap, and then you can see there in lane 1 is Ria Colbridge of Lasswade High School. So it's West Lothian, Edinburgh, Midlothian, the top threes, and Karen Heath is coming back at Katie Goodburn here. She's come down the third 50. Katie probably best known as a sprinter, so 200 is maybe at towards the end of her distance range, but she did win the Scottish Summer Meet, did a 2:11 back in the Commonwealth Pool in July, so well, she certainly had the endurance that time. We'll see whether she can see off the Karen Heath threat here. At the moment it looks like maybe Karen, well, I wouldn't like to call it actually, halfway down the final length. It's anyone's race here between the two of them. We know who's going to get third, that's going to be Ria Colbridge, but it looks like Katie Cooper just edged back into the lead here, but she's going to need to nail her finish here, which she does. Got that leading arm just onto the wall, so that was nicely judged there. 2:13.97 for Katie, 2:14.22 for Karen Heath in second. As I said, it was Ria Colbridge third there, 2:17.89. In the end, just half a second clear of Annabelle Wright. Here they are coming in. Just watch this finish here. She really just did that extra little bit of stretch to the wall just to make sure of it as she came in. But is that good enough to threaten for a medal? 2:13.97. What do you think, Robert?
I think she wanted to be 3 seconds faster, but we'll find out in about 2 minutes' time as Alicia Bain from Meldrum goes in 1, Rebecca Reid Harlow in 2, Emma Russell Woodmill in 3, Iona Macleod Harris Academy in 4, Hannah Young Queen Margaret goes in 5, and Claire Wallace from Eastwood goes in lane number 6. Well, Emma Russell, Iona Macleod, 2 youth squad members in the middle lanes, will certainly be strongly fancied to be in the shake-up in this one at the moment. Advantage with Emma Russell, 29.91. That's second faster than the previous heat. Iona Macleod turns second. Rebecca Reid in third at the moment. Emma and Iona not that far behind Rebecca Reid. On the near side, Alicia Bain trying to just keep with them. Over on the far side, Hannah Young as well. Advantage still with Emma Russell, 1:02.75. That's 2 seconds faster. So the whole field faster than the previous heat. And here comes Iona Macleod. She's the Scottish Cools champion, national champion at this distance. Emma Russell third at the schools. And next to nothing between it. Iona Macleod was second in the 400 this morning. She'll want to get back on the podium in first place, and off that turn, 1:36.35, 1:36.41. Little between the two, Iona Macleod and Emma Russell. Again, another tight finish ahead of us, 25 to go. Iona Macleod, Emma Russell, little between the two. It's still Iona Macleod. Emma Russell coming back strongly. It's Iona and Emma. Iona and Emma, little between the two into that final 5. It's going to be on the touch. Iona Macleod just takes that, 2:08.44, 2:08.46 by 200ths. And Rebecca Reid, 2:11.78 in third place. Well, we've seen some tight finishes. That's been the tightest one so far today. 200s, 2:08.44, 2:08.46. Iona Macleod, you can see that head down. Emma Russell just trying to find that little bit extra, but just not getting the final stretch. Iona Macleod just snatches it, 2:08.44.
Yep, great race that one. And Iona Macleod will be happy to be on the top of the podium when we get to the presentations in a few minutes' time. But before that, we've got the 17 to 19-year-olds, just the single heat here. And as you look across the field, you can see Lauren Turnbull of Stirling High School in lane 1. Lane 2 is Kirsty Griffis, the bronze medalist in the 400 free. She goes for Calder side. Sophie Smith of Arbroath High School is in lane 3. Isla Budge of the Nicholson Institute is in 4. Rasheen Ramsey of Heriots in 5. Faye Prosser of Nairn Academy is in 6.
Sophie Smith should be a strong fancy in this one. Duncan, certainly the times from the heats schools, 2:00.66. She's exactly 9 seconds ahead of Isla Budge. It's sometimes it's all about qualifying for these events, so don't read too much into that. Sophie Smith, I'm sure, will be a strong fancy, Duncan.
Yes, I would think so. 28.81, so she's gone out at a pretty good pace. Leads by 1.2 at the 50 from lane 4 Isla Budge and lane 1 Lauren Turnbull. So Sophie Smith, certainly, as you said, very much the favourite youth squad member, was bronze medalist in the summer at the British Summer Championships, represented Scotland at the Commonwealth Youth Games, and a very impressive silver medal there. So a swimmer with great qualities at 200 freestyle, and anything beyond that as well. 400 and 800, very much her thing too. There's certainly going to be an interest from the president of the Scottish School Swimming Association, who happens to be her coach, Scott Haxton, and he'll be happy with what he's seeing at the moment, because Sophie is a long way clear. It's really about second and third. They're so far back you can't see them in the shots at the moment, as we see Sophie going through the 150 and 133.44, and well, she, I think, is just going very smoothly indeed. I think she can go considerably faster than this, but well, she has the job well in hand. The race is on for second. Lanes 1 and 5, you can see pretty close there. Lauren Turnbull and Rasheen Ramsey, another youth squad member, but it is Sophie Smith completely dominant here. And as she goes underneath the flags, she takes this by a big margin. Looks like Rasheen Ramsey has come through to take silver. That's no surprise, I would think. Rasheen of Heriots, a very accomplished swimmer in her own right. And she takes second in 2:10.66 ahead of Lauren Turnbull's 2:12.35. But Sophie Smith, the clear winner, 2:06.31 for her. So you 1, 2, 3, Sophie Smith, Rasheen Ramsey and Lauren Turnbull. There you see Sophie coming in, just long arms there and the legs going, but not really thrashing, but just controlled swim into the wall. Hold on, not particularly interested in looking at the scoreboard straight away, but she knows that her job is done. So we get ready for our first presentation, and that will be for the girls 13-14 200 freestyle. We'll see them coming up very shortly. Of course, this was the one where 2 swimmers came from the first heat to fight their way onto the podium. We'll see them coming up now. The bronze medal will be to one of them, Morriswood High School's Sophie Hall. There she is on the right-hand side. And here we've got Scott McClay making these medal presentations. He's going to be on the plane to the Gold Coast in April with his first senior event representing Scotland. He was absolutely amazing in the Commonwealth Youth Games. Golds all over the place. Silver, Kerry Gillespie and Robert Gordon's also from the first heat. But the winner from Lasthwaite High School is Natalie Jones. So our 3, 13, 14-year-old medalists get their photos taken. We'll be moving on to the 15, 16 years now. Something very interesting on that mobile phone. The bronze medal then goes to Rebecca Reid of Harlaw Academy. Silver medalist from Woodmill High School, Emma Russell, Woodmill in Dunfermline. And it's Harris Academy's Iona Macleod. The Dundonian takes the gold and is the Scottish Schools champion. So silver and gold for Iona today, 400 free and 200 free. Should have preferred it was gold and gold, but well, gold and silver's not a bad day's work. The third group of swimmers coming up to the podium, the 17 to 19s. Here they come as we again check in on what's going on the mobiles. Bronze medalist in this one, Stirling High School's Lauren Turnbull. Silver medalist from George Heriot School, Rasheen Ramsey. And the gold medalist from Arbroath High School, Sophie Smith. Dominant performance from Sophie, 2:06.31. So a strong gold medal for her. And after the obligatory photos, we'll get ready to see the same event, but the boys. 200 freestyle, 13-14s will be first up. And they are ready to go, the referee calling them to order.
So to the first of the two heats in Heat 1, Hamish McFarlane from Lomond. Tony Anderson, Jordan Hill is in 2, Alec Thompson for Hill in 3, Aidan Ballantyne, Yester in lane 4, James Cool, Bucksburn in 5, Duncan Young, Queen Margaret goes in lane 6. So Aidan Ballantyne is actually Knox Academy. He's turning in 3rd place. Aidan, Tony Anderson, 29.92 is the early leader. So from Jordan Hill, personal best, Nationals 2:13.48. His entry time in this one, 2:14.04. He's certainly gone out very strongly in this first 100. As we saw in that girls event, medals can come from the first heat. Tony Anderson certainly gone out very strongly, 1:03.14. Advantage by almost a second and a half from Aidan Ballantyne. Close behind him, Alec Thompson in 3. So they've still got 3 or 4 metres to make up on our leader, Tony Anderson, at the moment, still going particularly well in lane 2. Aidan Ballantyne just holds second, although Alex Thompson is upsides him. There's still some way to go. Let's see what the split is, 1:37.49, 1:40.37, so around 3 seconds advantage that Tony has. You can see him in the shot. Still maintains 3 or 4 metres, and if anything, probably extending that further. So the gap, 4 to 5 metres, and extending further. Tony Anderson finishing extremely strongly. 2:14.04. It's going to be probably inside that. This is a super swim from Tony Anderson. 2:11.47. 2:14.26 for Alec Thompson. Aidan Ballantyne just picked for 3rd. Duncan Young gets up to take 3rd in 2:16.15. So that 2:11.47 certainly will give Tony Anderson some hope that he might be on the medal position.
Yes, just 2 swimmers with entry times faster than that in this second heat. As we see Tony coming in wearing his club City of Glasgow hat there, and be happy with that, we think. So on to heat 2.
2-second PB there, Duncan. So
yeah, nice stuff. Eric Davey of Perth High School goes in 1. 2 is Ewan Houston of Paisley Grammar. Mark College's Sam Moore is in 3. Jack McGill of George Watson's in 4. Rory McKinnon of Lenzie in 5. And Luke Porteous of St David's in lane 6. Nice start in lane 5, Rory McKinnon. So he's setting the early pace here. Cavalry finest in the Scottish Summer Meet. And he's given himself a real good shout there in that first 50, 28.81. It's about a second faster than the first heat. I wonder if he's gone out too fast, or is he going to be able to just dominate this one? He's certainly dominating it at the moment. Second in lane 4, Jack McGill, just ahead of Sam Moore. Jack, a medalist this morning, and we'll be looking for number 2 here as we come up towards halfway, and no sign of Rory's lead shrinking. In fact, if anything, it's growing here. It's up to about 1.7 at the halfway mark. 101.76. Interestingly, the second and third place swimmers here are behind the split of Tony Anderson, so they'll need to pick up their ideas in the second half if they're to get on the podium. And they are maybe now starting to eat into Rory McKinnon's lead. He has really attacked this race, and will he reap the reward of it? Certainly at the moment, he's holding on pretty well. You see there in lane 4, Jack McGill coming into shot, but it's still a pretty healthy lead for Rory as we go into the final 5. It's about 1.8, 135.56 for Rory, and that's about 2 seconds faster than the previous heats. Certainly Tony Anderson, I think, is very much in with a chance of being on the podium from the first heat. As we see Rory McKinnon, he's not going to be caught now, and he really took this by the scruff of the neck early on, and he has held on comfortably since then to dominate things here. A great swim from the Lenzie man. He comes in and takes it by about 3 meters in 2:09.19. Now let's just have a look at the times for second and third. 2:10.95 for Jack McGill. So he takes the silver, but the bronze will go to Tony Anderson from the first heat, because you can see there that 2:11.86 from Ewan Houston is going to have to settle for 4th place there. See them coming in, and what a good swim that was from Rory McKinnon from lane 5, but he wasn't worried about the faster entry times. He really took that one out and then held on well.
Super swim. Some 4 or 5 seconds faster than the entry time. As you say, Duncan, Tony Anderson in that first heat gets a bronze medal. Moving on to our 15-16-year-olds, Archie Quillen, Robert Gordons goes in 1. In 2, Alistair Dunce, James Young High, Michael Flynn, Cumbernauld. In 4, Adam Young, Bell Baxter, Ian Rose from Stuart's Melville, Darius Misfis from Elgin goes in lane number 6. Times that they are entered in from the schools events, 2:02 through to 2:05. Alistair Dunce in 2. Looks as though he hits the wall first, just 28.88. Ian Rose turning second. Darius Misfis in 3rd. Down towards the halfway mark. Ian Rose over on the far side, looks as though he's now possibly shading the lead. Oh, Alistair Dunn still well there. So lanes 5 and 2. Let's see if Ian gets the touch. He does indeed. 101.73 plays 102.22, so half a second advantage. Those two are roughly a body length clear, the other 4 swimmers almost in a line. Ian Rose just beginning to stretch. Stuart Melville swimmer is making a body length advantage count and stretching further away. It's gone 3 or 4 meters clear. Alistair Dunn still holds second, 1:33.55, 1:35.77. So Ian Rose will want to just kick on, try and get as fast a time as he can and set a challenge for the lads coming up very shortly. Alistair Dunce rather in second place still. Ian Rose 2:04.06 was the entry time, just a shade over that. So he takes this first heat by some margin, 2:04.87. Alistair 2:08.78. Darius 2:09.44 in third, so 2:04.87. It's the target for the lads coming up.
Yeah, I would think that they'll be able to beat that, these guys coming up. But we'll see. Andrew Arthur will go for Ellen in one, as we see there Ian Rose bringing his race to a close. This one for him. Not sure what that shake of the head meant, whether that's good or bad. As I said, in this second heat we have Andrew Arthur of Ellen in one, Angus Allison of Broughton in two, Greg Fairbairn of Christon in three, Keir Buchanan of Carluke High in four, Rory Dixon of Garnock Academy in five, and Elliot Miller from Grangemouth in six. So in a line here. Good start at the bottom of the screen. Andrew Arthur, well, they're all turning very much just 28.21 to 28.29, the 1, 2 and 3, led by Keir Buchanan, in fact. Distance specialist Keir. Let's see what he can do in this one. Development squad member. Second recently in the West District. Another one who is a finalist at the British Summer Championships in Sheffield in July. Now it's Greg Fairbairn who has the lead, 59.71, another youth development squad member. Winner in the Scottish Summer Meet, silver at national age groups. He's gone maybe half a metre now as they come down then three from Keir Buchanan. Rory Dixon in the mix, a third youth development squad member. So three very promising youngsters here leading the way. Lane 2, Angus Allison, the youth squad member, gold medalist this morning. So can he come through strongly in the final length? Well, it's lane 4. Keir Buchanan has the lead back, 1:31.92, but only 800ths in it. As we really step up the pace now, and Angus Allison is starting to make his move in lane 2, down at the bottom of your screen there, and he is pushing hard. Beside him, Greg Fairbairn responds. Up in lane 5, Rory Dixon is in the hunt as well as they come down in towards the final 5. It's going to be again fingertips up, but Angus Allison has timed this to perfection, and he comes in to take it in 2:02.69, only by a tenth in the end. Rory Dixon really nailed his finish and was very close to him in the end. 2:02.79 for Rory, and third place goes to Greg Fairbairn, 2:03.12. And poor Keir Buchanan, he was leading for a good chunk of that race, but only ends up fourth. Here they come in, and Angus Allison just found a new gear down that last length and really hammering away at it. Head down all the way, no time to breathe, and well, that probably made the difference there as he came in for his second gold of the day. Excellent swim.
Yeah, you wouldn't have called that at the halfway mark. He looked a little bit out of it, turned in fifth, but picked up that final turn, and as you say, Duncan fairly nailed it right at the very end.
Yep, nice stuff there. So we go to the 17-18s now. Follow that, as they say.
We'll do our best. Sonny Kennedy, Stuart Melville goes in 1. Maxwell Cattermole from Lothallen in 2. Fraser Agnew, Robert Gordons in 3. Duncan McKinney, Lindsay in 4. Logan Eason, Fuller Academy in 5. Daniel Ferguson, Whitburn Academy in lane number 6. Daniel Ferguson, already winner this morning on that 400. Fraser Agnew in lane 3 was third in that one, and he is a early leader, 27.51. Daniel Ferguson incidentally turns last. Oh, and it's looks out of it at the halfway mark. Fraser Agnew and Maxwell Cattermole on this near side. Sonny Kennedy also well there in lane number 1. Maxwell. Halfway mark, 58 dead, 59.13. Pretty big advantage at that halfway mark. Fraser Agnew sprinting clear of the field, and it's catch me if you can. And I don't think at the moment anybody's got anything in the locker, but here comes Duncan McKinney in lane 4. He looks the threat, but at the moment it still looks good for Fraser Agnew. Still leads by good body length. So off that final turn, 128, 42, 129, 76 for McKinney. Over a second advantage for Fraser Agnew, and Agnew still maintains a good body length from Duncan McKinney, who looks good for second. Sonny Kennedy on this near side, I think he's going to have to settle for bronze unless he can pull something out, but Fraser Agnew is made from start to finish. Takes us very easily indeed, 158.84. Duncan McKinney, 2:00.17, takes second, and 2:02.31. Sonny Kennedy from the outside lane gets bronze.
Yeah, I think Fraser will be happy with that, because I think he was probably slightly disappointed with his 400 this morning, where he was leading for a chunk of it and then ended up in third. But, well, no doubt there, he was very, very strong all the way through. And in the end, 158.84 was a comfortable win there. So we'll be going to presentations now for these boys 200 freestyle. Been some good races so far, Robert, haven't there? Real thrillers.
We have indeed. We've had some very tight finishes. Some have been quite comfortable like that last one, but we've had some crackers both this morning and this afternoon. 200's been the tightest finish, but we had a 500th and a 1400th, and there's been a number of crackers.
Yeah. The ones that stand out, I mean, that Angus Allison comeback in that last race, penultimate race. But here we are on the podium, and we start with the 13-14s. SAP bronze medalist Number, who's picked up a medal from Heat 1. Jordan Hill's Tony Anderson. The silver medalist is second medal of the day for George Watson swimmer Jack McGill. And Lens's Rory McKinnon is the Scottish Schools champion. And congratulations to him. Scotia, his club. That's which escaped seeing them on a dark night. Fluorescent green. Lovely.
I think it might be Scotia.
Did I not say Scotia? I thought I did.
Scotia, yes.
All right. My apologies if I did.
Yes.
So on to the 15-16s presentation. Greg Fairbairn of Christon takes the bronze. Rory Dixon of Garnock Academy the silver, and the Broughton High School swimmer, we were just talking about him, Angus Allison. I don't see him there at the podium at the moment. He seems to be missing in action. He's still recovering from that swim. So no Angus.
Still looks missing in action, Duncan. Sign of him.
So just 274 the photos. Plotting revenge on Mr. Allison. So we now move to the 17-18 presentation. That last race. And it looks like we have all three present and correct here. Bronze medalist from Stuart's Melville College, Sonny Kennedy. Silver medalist from Lenzie, Duncan McKinney. Seen a few good swims from Lenzie. Just sort out the medals here. There we go. The gold medalist from Robert Gordon's College. Always a hotbed of swimming, Robert Gordon's. Fraser Agnew keeps that tradition flourishing, and he is the champion. So we're done with 200 free, and we move to 50 free now. Back to the youngsters. Heats and finals once again. So this should be fast and furious. We're looking at the times, the swims here. We've got three with entry times in the 30 area. As we get ready to go with our first heat, we've got Erin Smith of Stornoway in 1, Abby McClellan of St George's in 2, Natalie Marshall of Croftmalloch in 3, Darcy Brown of High School of Dundee in 4, Megan Bromham of Culloden in 5, and Holly Armitt of Balweary in 6. And it's lane 3 straight away into the lead, Natalie Marshall of Croft Malloch. And she is about half a metre up, I think, from lane 4, Darcy Brown. And looks like they're going to be 1 and 2. We'll see whether they can threaten that 30-second barrier. I think they're going to be just outside it, but it is Natalie who comes in, 30.55. That's the time set there for the second heat to try and beat. 31.37 for Darcy, and third place was Abby McClellan of St George's. Her time 32.58. See just how shallow the pool is at that turn end, which means probably a little bit of a problem for our bigger swimmers executing a really tidy turn there, because they've not got a huge amount of water to do it in.
Second heat, Anna Lunan, Dundonald in 1. Isha Martin, St Matthews in 2. Jessica Dempster, St Paul's in 3. Anna Morrison, Clomby in 4. Maya Cheshire from St Geraldine in 5. Stella McCarthy at St Columbus in lane number 6. Lane 3, Jessica Dempster has this one well sewn up. Second place, Anna Morrison in 4. Jessica well clear. Third place looks like Maya Cheshire. See if she can get under that 30-minute mark, 29.85, so that's the fastest so far. Second swimmer, 31.63, is only our fourth fastest. Dempster, very pleased they're under that 30-second mark, 29.85. We'll confirm the finalists when we have them.
Yep, she looked as though she enjoyed that one. More slow the young girl. So it's the boys' turn now. Again, we've got 2 heats, and they'll progress through the fastest 6 to the final. In this first heat, Rory Stobie of Buxton in 1, Mark Scott of Strathallan in 2, Sam Parker of Murrayfield in 3, Cedar Gullen of Flora Stevenson's in 4, Ben Smallwood of Milnerthorpe in 5, and Owen Kilmas of Caice in 6. And it's lanes 2 and 3 at the moment making the running. Mark Scott and Sam Parker. Mark in lane 2, trying to confound the seedings here. It looks like he's now been caught by Sam Parker. And then it's a race for third behind these two. It looks like Sam now just edging into the lead in what's been a pretty competitive race, this one, but it's going to be Sam Parker who takes it. And I don't know what his time is, because there's actually nothing up on the board here. So we'll need to wait and see. Well, now it comes up 31.51. Unfortunately, lane 2. I think we know now the reason why he got such a good start. He's in a DQ, so looks like he must have been off just a little bit early there. So unfortunate for him. That means that second place was Ben Smallwood and third Cedar Gullen. So we do know that unfortunately lane 2 will not be progressing through to the final. Mark Scott, unfortunate for him. But it's all about learning, particularly for these youngsters.
On to heat number 2, Angus Caven, Robert Gordon's in 1. Daniel Ritchie, Broughton Primary in 2. Luke Hornsey, Sanderson's in 3. Jake Gibson, South Park in 4. Kane Buchanan, St Joseph's in 5. And Greg Hall from Scotstoun in lane number 6. Wind. Luke Hornsey from Wind in 3. Jake Gibson, South Park in 4. They're battling it out down this final 10 metres. Looks as though he's doing enough to take this one from Jake. Will he get under the 30-second mark? Just 29.91. 30.86 for Jake. And third place, Daniel Ritchie, 32.31. Lots in the 32s, so again, interesting to see who progresses into that final.
So we're going into the first heat now at the girls 13-14 years 100 breaststroke. You have Yasmin Lapsley of James Young High School in 1, Sophie Jaskowiak of Bell Baxter in 2, Emily North of Kyle Academy in 3, Olivia Clark of Grove Academy in 4, Jessica Riak of Banff Academy in 5, and Ailish Segal, she goes for Musselburgh Grammar in lane 6. So there we're looking at the swimmer in lane 5, Jessica Riak, down from Banff. They're all over Scotland. I don't think we've seen any from the Shetlands or the Orkneys coming to these championships, a bit far for them, but we've seen the Western Isles, and we've gone right down to Kelso in the southeast, so Dumfries as well in the southwest, so east and west, north and south, they're all here. So we're up and away in this first heat. Times 121 to 122 they're entered on. Straight away into the lead in lane 3 is Kyle Academy's Emily North, wearing her South Ayrshire club cap. Beside her, Olivia Clark of Grove, and going nicely in lane 1 from James Young in Livingston, Yasmin Lapsley. So these three, the early front runners, and in particular lanes 1 and 4, Yasmin and Olivia. See which one of them gets the touch. It is lane 1, Yasmin, 38.33 for her. She's up by 1500ths. And then there's a second and a half gap to Emily North, who's just fallen back from the leading 2. And Yasmin certainly looks the favourite here, coming down length 2. She's up by, what, half a metre or so, but maybe that is narrowing now. Half a length to go, and it's battle on now between Yasmin and Olivia. Yasmin, I think, does still, does she have the upper hand? Well, let's just see as they come in. It's going to be very, very close once again. Does look like Yasmin, though, just has the edge, stretching to the wall, and she just gets it. 123.12 against 123.28 for Olivia Clark. And 124.85 was the time for Olivia North in 3rd place. So there was never much in that one, but Yasmin always just seemed to have the very slight lead, and she held on to that as we see them come in here. And it was tough for our cameraman to just catch them, but he did a great job there to see Yasmin bringing them in.
So the second heat has Molly Cannon from St Columbus in 1, Sashka Wade, Glasgow Academy in 2, Scarlett Ferris, Bell Baxter in 3, Alice Knight, Clifton Hall in 4, Esmond Ali, Mary Erston School in 5, and Martha Reeves, High School of Dundee in 6. So Sashka Wade, 13-year-old, Martha Reeves over on that far side, also 13-year-old, the other girls all 14. Ready Sashka Wade, off to a good start. It's by over a body length, 36.22. That's over 2 seconds faster than the previous heat. She certainly means business in this one. She's gone 4 or 5 clear. Second place, Scarlett Ferris and Alice Knight in 3 and 4. At the moment, the youngster from Glasgow Academy. Advantage was just shade over 2 seconds. The national age groups. Showing at the Lincoln Vulcans meet when she was down 1:17.30, 1:21.75 and 1:21.76. Very tight for the minor places in that one. Just went to Alice Knight from Scarlett Ferris, and that will confirm silver and bronze, but very comfortable win there for the youngster from Glasgow, Duncan.
Yeah, she'll be very happy with that time. I think 1:17.30. She was a 1:19 at Sunderland recently. I think that was a PB before that, so moved that up to 1:17. It's good stuff, real promising talent for the future, Saskia. As we move to the 15-16-year-olds. First heat ready to go. Anna Colston of Falkirk High goes in 1. Erin Snow of Lanark Grammar in 2, Kristen Russell of Ross High School in 3, Emma McPartland of Auchterarder in 4, Hayley Davidson High School of Glasgow in 5, and Millie Jackson of Lochaber High School in lane 6. Times 117 to 119s here. Lane 3, Kristen Russell just moving into the lead, so she has the fastest entry time, so going at the moment with the seeding, and she is going to lead them through the turn from lane 2, Erin Snow, then I think maybe Anna Colston in lane 1, 36.95 as Kristen split. See there, she's leading by about a body length from Erin Snow. Emma Partland now in 4th place, but challenging behind Erin and Anna, but Kristen Russell gradually building that lead up now. It's around 3 meters as they come down to the 15-meter markers. So Kristen looks to be in control on this one and is surely going to take this comfortably. Again, it'll be a question of does the time match up to what we're going to see in the next heat. 1:18.69, I think is probably unlikely that it will. Just here in the venue, the scoreboard has been cleared, which suggests there might be a report coming in. So we'll need to wait for confirmation of the result. Not seen too many DQs. We saw that flyer just a few races ago. But generally speaking, it's been pretty clean in terms of disqualifications. A bit of a glide in at the end there from Kristen. Coach might have something to say about that. Just didn't quite nail that finish, and that will have cost her a few tenths. See the Kelso coach there. He'll be in charge of Erica Chopek, I think, just from Kelso High School. As we prepare for the second heat, but we still haven't had a declared result yet from that first heat. So did you see anything, Robert? You're a qualified referee, so anything there that's apparent?
I would suspect it's probably at the other end, an illegal turn. Sometimes the swimmers don't touch cleanly with both hands, so maybe it was a non-simultaneous touch or a one-handed touch. I suspect that's the likely scenario, and there we have the result, Duncan. Disqualification in that heat, lane 6. No change, 1:18.69. Will that be good enough to possibly get a medal?
So that was Millie Jackson, unfortunately, who fell foul of the judges.
So our second heat, Lucy Ross will be a strong fancy in this one now. Orla Stanton, Kinross High in 1, Rhoda Bowie, Bankery in 2, Lucy Ross, Calder Glen in 3, Nicole Reynolds, Madras High School in 4, Grace Robertson from Watson's in lane 5, Hannah Cole from our Growth Academy goes in 6. Lucy Ross lost out in the 200 to Yvonne Brown, our local teammate, swims in this pool at Kilbride. And she'll want to atone for that defeat by winning the 100. She's gone out very strongly. National champion in this event. 35.21, it's just over half a second. Still maintains about half a metre. Nicole Reynolds sticking with her. Lucy Ross just beginning to pull away a little bit down this final stretch. Advantage still with Lucy Ross. Very tight for third place. Rona Bowie, Ola Stanton on this near side, but Lucy Ross going slightly further away as we reach the last 5 metres. Lucy Ross is going to take this pretty easily. Nicole Reynolds second. Third place looks as though it's going to be Grace Robertson from George Watson's, and that is our 1, 2, 3. Lucy Ross 1:14.53, 1:16.59 for Nicole Reynolds, and Grace Robertson 1:17.50. So those all faster than the previous heat. 1:18, which was from Kristen Russell. Lucy Ross, I don't know how delighted she was with the swim, but she got there in the end, Duncan.
Yeah, I think that will be just job done. I don't think it was setting the heather alight, particularly in terms of times, but a decent solid swim there from Lucy to take the win as we go to the 17 to 19s. Now expect to see a dominant performance in this one. Watch out for lane 3. Field is Amy Mackay of Loch Harbour High School in 1. Jennifer Storm of Cults Academy in 2. Katie Robertson of Kyle Academy in 3. Ola Edwards of Afford Academy in 4. Katie Lynch of St Ambrose in 5. And Hannah Fennick, Harlow Academy in 6. Katie Robertson, youth squad member, another of the swimmers who made that trip to the Commonwealth Youth Games for Scotland, and she was also in the World Junior Championships in the summer, representing Great Britain, and was a runaway winner in the 200. It looks like she's going to repeat that here. Goes through in 34.01 halfway through her race. See a long way clear. There's a kite race going on for second. You can see there 4 of them very close, but they are trailing in the wake of Katie Robertson. Beautiful technician and great concentration on every little detail that you need in breaststroke. Such a technical stroke, and Katie then absolutely dominant, really tight now for second, but Katie Robertson coming in 1:11.34. Good solid swim from her, not a bad time at all. And it was just Ola Edwards showing some good strength there in those last 10 metres to take second place just ahead of Katie Lynch. There you can see the times, 1:18.48, 1:19.02. We see Katie Robertson coming in and nicely judging her finish. Looks across to the board, sees that time, 1:11.34. A pretty respectable time that. I think she'll be quite happy with that.
I think she should be happy with that. 1:11 at this time of the season for Katie. I'm sure Byron will be delighted at the performance she's done today, both in the 200 and the 100. Well, didn't have to work too hard to win both of them, but still very respectable times nevertheless.
Yes, and it'll be at the moment be focusing about the mechanics of the swim, probably rather more than the time. So I'm sure she'll have got good feedback and see how Coach Byron Stericker is on poolside this afternoon. So we're back to the podium. And there you can see another of our Commonwealth Games athletes, Ewan Ingalls. He'll be doing the 50 breaststroke at the Gold Coast. We wish him all the best there. And he's going to present to the 13, 14-year-old 100 breaststrokers. Scarlett Ferris of Bell Baxter High School in Cooper takes the bronze. Alice Knight of Clifton Hall takes the silver. But the gold medalist and Scottish Schools champion is from Glasgow Academy. And that is Saskia Wade, very impressive swim, 1:17.30. See the Brodies name resplendent on this medal. Great support from Brodies to these championships. I wonder if there's some tweets going on. Remember, you can tweet us. You can show your support to the athletes swimming here as we see the 15, 16-year-olds. 100 breaststrokers. Grace Robertson had a strong finish to take the bronze from Watson's. Madras High School's Nicole Reynolds takes the silver. The champion from Calderglen High School is Lucy Ross. See Nicole Reynolds prepared for all weathers here. She's not going to chill in that coat. Madras High School in St Andrews. So we've seen one from Cooper and one from St Andrews on the podium. North East 5 doing well. 17 to 19-year-olds now. Katie Lynch of St Ambrose takes the bronze. Ola Edwards, Afford Academy, picks up silver. And the gold, and the Scottish Schools champion, her second gold of the day, to Kyle Academy's Katie Robertson. that has us done with the girls 100 breaststroke. We double the distance, change the sex. As we move to our next event, the boys 200 breaststroke, starting with the 13-14-year-olds.
Action in the pool just about to start. In lane 1 we have Innes Kroll from Harris Academy. Oleg Smith, St Mungo's goes in 2. Lucas Grieve, Labrador High in 3. Liam Murphy, Linlithgow Academy in 4. Thomas Christie, Bucksburn in 5. And Luke Charles from Bankery in lane number 6. All the qualifying times they achieved just over the 250 mark, 250 through to 252. So on paper we could have a tight contest, but it hasn't turned out that way. We've not had 6 in a row, we've had 1 or 2 tight finishes with 2 or 3 swimmers coming in. At the moment, Liam Murphy from Linlithgow is our early leader. Thomas Christie from Bucksburn over in lane 5, trying to stay with him. On this near side, Innes Kroll and Oleg Smith in 1 and 2. Far side with the advantage. Liam Murphy turns in 37.19, 38.03, almost a second ahead of Thomas Christie, with Oleg Smith turning in 3rd. Certainly Liam Murphy pulling just over a body length clear. Thomas Christie still holds 2nd. Luke Charles might just be shading 3rd from Oleg Smith. So approaching halfway, and Liam Murphy just extending that lead a little bit more. It was almost a second. This looks like a couple of seconds and more. 1:19.23, 1:21.85. It's just over 2.5 seconds. So all the action at the moment on the far side of the pool. Lanes 4, 5 and 6. Liam Murphy going particularly well here down this 3rd stretch. Still some 3 or 4 metres clear. Thomas Christie sticking with him. They've pulled clear of Luke Charles in lane 6. It's a lad from Linlithgow with the advantage with just over 50 to go. Expect him to turn in something like 2:04. 2:03.34. So that was around about 44 seconds. So well in for getting under the 250 mark. So this will be a good solid swim here from Liam if he can just keep this stroke going. Still 4 or 5 metres clear. Thomas Christie. And 3rd place at the moment. So it still looked battle on now. Oleg Smith also coming through to challenge for 3rd, but no doubt about the winner in this one. Going further and further away. Solid swim from Liam. 2:42. It's going to be 2 or 3 seconds under the 250 mark. 2:46.60. Very good swim from Liam. 2nd place. Also 2:50.94. Good swim from Thomas Christie. And very tight for 3rd. Oleg Smith just hanging on for 2:55.91. 2:56.19 from Lucas Grieve.
Nice stuff there from Liam. Here he comes in. And well, we'll see how that stands up against the 2nd heat, 2:46. Certainly he'll be up there, you would think, in the top 6, but we'll see if it's good enough for a place on the podium. We're just about ready to go with the 2nd heat. So we see there lanes 3 and 4, Matthew Garrity and Ben Galloway, and look across the line then. We see Finn Bremner going for Fetties in 1, Sam Harrison of St Columba's in 2, Matthew Garrity representing Cliveview Academy is in 3, Ben Galloway with William Wood High School is in 4, Jamie Littlefield of George Watson's in 5, and Drew Kroll of Harris Academy is in 6. Well, good start in lane 5, Jamie Littlefield. He's very much the sprinter, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes on in the 200 here. Lane 4, Ben Galloway, not too far behind him. as we go through the first turn. 35.80, so it's about 1.4 faster than the first heat. A lead of, well, a metre and a half maybe for Jamie. Ben Galloway, Matthew Garrity, and then Sam Harrison, the leading four. As we come down to the halfway mark, and well, the race is tightening up now, and it looks like that early Jamie Littlefield lead has gone, and it's now Ben Galloway who has taken it on, and he goes through in 1:18.63, only 6/10ths faster than the previous heat, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that as well. 1:18.90 in second place was Matthew Garrity, and it looks like Matthew now is moving into the lead, so a fair bit of toing and froing going on here at the front of this race. At the 200, you'd probably rather be in the lead at the 150 than you being in the lead at the 50, and it is Matthew Garrity who looks as if he's going to have that. There's Sam Harrison moving up very nicely in lane 2 in the black cap, so he's got himself very much in contention here as we go through the 150 to 0098. The top three now are all faster than the first heat, so this is, you would think about Matthew Garrity coming under extreme pressure now from Sam Harrison in lane 2. He has come from well back in this second half and is really attacking, but it looks like Matthew Garrity has the measure of him at the moment. He's holding him at bay. Ben Galloway is probably going to have to settle for third. Sam Harrison has not given this one up yet. He's about a metre and a half behind, but it is going to be Matthew Garrity. He was able to respond to the challenge and comes in very nicely in 2:42 dead to take gold. Great swim from Sam there, particularly in that second half where he really pushed everything at it. He takes the silver in 2:42.91, and it'll be bronze for Ben Galloway, 2:44.21.
Another interesting race there, Duncan. Sam coming back from 4th position at the halfway mark, trying to get himself back into the race. I'm sure he'll be delighted to finish in 2nd place though. Matthew Garrity was probably the favourite in that one anyway. Good strong swims from both these lads. We'll move up an age group to the 15-16-year-olds. In lane 1 we have Finlay Wallace from Montrose Academy, Matthew Hanlon from Nicholson Institute in 2, Ethan Horn from Cathkin High in 3, Finlay Cormac, Perth High School in 4, Sam Glenn from Lenzie in 5, Evan Clark, Auchenharvey goes in lane number 6. So times from the school heats, 2:32 through to 2:37. Finlay Cormac perhaps in lane 4, just with that slight advantage at the moment. So the pink cap from Perth High School, 34.83, 0.7 ahead. Ethan Horn and Evan Clark. The whole field fairly well there. 2 or 3 seconds cover the whole field. Still lanes 3, 4 and 6. Down towards the halfway mark, Ethan Horn in 3, Finlay Cormac in 4. It's Ethan just beginning to come through and take it up. Finlay Wallace trying to get in the mix along with Matthew Hanlon on this near side, but it's advantage with Ethan Horn, 1:16.48, 1:16.79 for Evan Clark in lane 6. So Ethan about a metre advantage. Still over on that far side, Evan Clark not that far behind. Finlay Cormac still hanging in there in 3rd place. Matthew Hanlon in 2, beginning to make some headway now. Still advantage with Ethan Horn. So with just over 50 to go. See what the advantage is now. Over on the far side, Evan Clark just over half a second back, 1:59.13, 1:59.60. Matthew Hanlon still making some headway. It's Ethan Horn. Over on the far side, Evan Clark, with Matthew Hanlon beginning to just time this race perfectly to get back on terms. Ethan Horn, Evan Clark, and coming strongly still Matthew Hanlon. Ethan Horn looks as though he's going to hold off this challenge. Still with Ethan Horn. Matthew Hanlon looks as though he's getting up to get second. That's going to be the 1-2. Finlay Wallace trying to get in the mix as Ethan Horn takes that in 2:40.64. 2:41.82 for Matthew Hanlon. And Evan Clark, 2:42.43, just holds on to third from the late challenge from Finlay Wallace.
It was almost deja vu there, almost a repeat of what happened in the previous race, wasn't it? The Garrity versus Harrison race, and there you had it was Ethan Horn versus Matthew Hanlon coming back at him, but Ethan Horn doing enough to hold on to it. Good swim from Evan Clark as well over in lane 6.
Just feel he left it a bit late. He didn't get into the race early enough, Matthew, but came through strongly at the end.
So heat 2 now. We have the lineup: Daniel Saunders for George Watson's in 1, John Keane of Armadale in 2, Greg Fairbairn of Christon in 3, Ethan Lindsay of Bucksburn in 4, Finlay Cousins of Robert Gordon's in 5, and Luke Mitchell of Perth High School in 6. John Keane, I think you fancy here on this one, the youth squad member. He's his age group champions, silver medalist at the British Summer Championship, so very much the form swimmer in terms of 100 breaststroke, but he's not having it all his own way early on here. Got 4 lengths of the pool. It's early days coming up to the first turn, and it's lane 3, Greg Fairbairn, who just has the edge, 33.80. 10th up on Ethan Lindsay. Then it's Whitney Cousins, and only in 4th place John Keane, although I think he's moved up a bit now. Down to halfway, he's sitting alongside Greg Fairbairn, and still Ethan Lindsay very much up there, and Finlay Cousins just a little bit back now from the leading trio. John Keane from Armadale Academy in West Lothian, just getting, I think, his nose in front at the halfway point, only by 100th of a second, 1:12.83 against 1:12.84 for Greg Fairbairn. Out of the turn, and it is these two now about a metre up on Ethan Lindsay, and Finlay Cousins just dropping back from the leading trio now, so it does look like it's going to be Keane, Fairbairn and Lindsay sorting out the medals between them. So we go down the third leg, and John Keane now just starting to turn the screw and apply the pressure, and he is looking pretty good for this now as they come to the 150. He turns 1:51.35. Remember, he only had 100th of lead at the 100. Now he's got a lead of about 1.8. As second place, Greg Fairbairn turning 1:53.18. He is holding off Ethan Lindsay for the silver medal at the moment, but it's John Keane in lane 2 who's got more than a body length advantage now, coming down the final length. Doesn't look like anybody is going to put the challenges on him. Greg Fairbairn has got away from Ethan Lindsay, who is facing a late challenge from Finlay Cousins for the bronze medal. Finlay, in fact, has moved up into third, but it's going to be John Keane from Greg Fairbairn, 1 and 2, 2:31.50 for John, 2:32.02 for Greg, and it was Finlay Cousins with a great last 50 to take the bronze in 2:33.80. Just checking the times from the first heat. These were substantially faster, so the 1, 2, 3 coming from that heat: John Keane, Greg Fairbairn, Finlay Cousins. And that, I guess, is how to do a 200 breaststroke. Don't push it out too hard in the early one, and just apply the pressure on in the second half and turn the screw. Just show the others that they cannot live with you.
Exactly, yeah. Build it up from start to finish. certainly at the halfway mark, you want to be in the mix and then start pulling away and put the pressure on. So on to 17, 19-year-olds. Lewis Bailey from Bell Baxter in 1. David Rowan from Loudon in 2. Jack Green for Fur Academy in 3. Xenia Salkovisk from Glen Almond in lane 4. Thomas McSkimming from Gillespie's in 5. And Ewan Gumbrell, Glasgow School of Sport, goes in lane number 6. Entries in the 225s through to 238. Have to pick out an obvious leader. It's possibly Ewan Gumbrell. No, indeed, it's Xenia Salkovisk, 34.77. I'm not knowing about this young man. We just moved into the country. Certainly hasn't swum at national events as far as I'm aware, Duncan, so let's see what he can do in this event. Certainly going pretty well.
Yeah, it's always good, isn't it, when they have a bit of an unknown quantity to go against, because most of these swimmers will know each other really well, and this puts a factor X into the race.
Yeah, sometimes it's all about tactics. They know what the other guys can do, and they have a race plan, but the race plan is having to get ripped up in this one. Almost 4 in the line here. Jack Green might just have a slight advantage. Xenia in lane 4, Thomas in 5, and Ewan in 6. This is a fascinating finish ahead. If the 4 can all turn almost in a line, we've got 4 in a line almost coming to the final 50. Advantage possibly Thomas McSkimming. Ewan Gumbrell, that's Ewan Gumbrell I think. 154.46, 154.50, 155.30 and 155.39. A second cover the whole field. Better turn out of there by Thomas McSkimming with that Warner cap from Gillespie's, and he's hit the front and he's beginning to just pull away from the rest of the field, and this certainly is Thomas McSkimming's race by some margin. He's pulling further and further away. It's anybody's race for second. Jack Green, Ewan Gumbrell, and at the moment it's Thomas McSkimming, Ewan Gumbrell. That's the 1-2, Jack Green and Xenia. And Jack Green just pips Xenia for third place. But no doubt about the winner, 2:30.69. Thomas McSkimming, Ewan Gumbrell, 2:33.76 and 2:36.61 by 1300s. Jack Green gets third.
Interesting looking at the splits on that one from Thomas McSkimming then. 34, 40, 40, 36. So he absolutely blasted that final 50.
So that's why we just can't read too much into the times that they do in the qualifiers. Some of them just do enough to qualify. They know, fine, right, if I do a 2:25 or a 2:30, that'll get me in even although I'm 5 or 6 seconds faster on paper. So that's why we've seen some coming in from lanes 5 and lane 6 and lane 1 onto the podium.
And talking about the podium, we've got the 13, 14-year-old boys here. Scott McClay once again doing our medal presentations for us. Bronze medalist was Ben Galloway of William Wood High School. Sam Harrison of St Columba's, great silver medal for him. But the champion from Clydeview Academy, Matthew Garrity. So the youngsters showing what they can do. Just nice little quiet satisfaction there from our gold medalist Matthew as we move to the 15-16s, and Matthew makes his way back to base. Oh, there's a serious coach swimmer talk going on. How much of it do you think he'll take in? Well, he looks pretty engaged about it.
I think he'll take, it's the usual, you're taking 20% of what you actually hear, Duncan. I think that's, you take that in, you're doing well.
So the medalist in the 15-16s, Finley Cousins of Robert Gordon's the bronze medalist, Greg Fairbairn, Christon the silver, and John Keane in the blue cap, the blue shirt there. Armadale swimmer taking the gold. 17-18s will be next to the podium. Exciting times for Scott McLean making that Commonwealth Games team. As I said earlier, it'll be his first senior outing representing Scotland. He has been representing both Scotland and Great Britain at youth level. But this is a big step up, and it'll be very interesting to see how he does. Mainly in freestyle, 100s and 200s, and the sprints as well, 50s, 50 fly, and backstroke also strong. So the medalists for the 17 to 19s, the bronze medalist Jack Green of Forfar Academy, Max Hagan from Glasgow School of Sport, the silver medalist, and Thomas McSkimming, JGHS, James Gillespie High School. He is our champion. And what a blitz final 50 from Thomas to earn it. So we go to backstroke now. So the ledgers will be positioned in the pool for the starts. It's 200 backstroke for the girls. This is our last of our events before we go back to the youngsters for their finals. So 2 heats again for the 13-14s, the 15-16s, and then the single heat for the 17 to 19s. First heat here, we've got Holly Welsh of Brannock in 1, E.B.J. Clark of Lochaber High School in 2, Rowan Saunders of Craigmount in 3, Sienna Perry of Oldbacker Academy in 4, Ella Stevenson from Coatbridge in 5, and Eve Green of St Joseph's in 6. Great to see a good Lochaber presence, real promising fledgling programme developing in Fort William, and they've shown a number of swimmers brought to these finals. Well done to them. Great start from Eve Green though, from the other end of the country pretty much, St Joseph's in Dumfries area, and it is, I think, going to be Neve just taking the split at the 50, 35.65 for her. Leads by nearly a second from the swimmer beside her, Ella Stevenson from Coatbridge. And it's lane 3, Rowan Saunders of Craigmount High School. Pretty close for second now, but still Neve has the advantage up at the top of your screen. And you can see her on the left-hand side now as we change camera. And she's looking to hold on to this advantage, although coming up at her now a bit. There's Rowan Saunders. She's, I think, just ahead of Ella Stevenson now in the contest for second, but she's still well over a second behind Neve at the halfway mark. 1:15.18 for Neve Green, 1:16.39 second place. Still the race for second between Rowan and Ella. In between them, Sienna Perry doing her best to try and catch them up. She's making some ground on them, I think. Still though, Neve Green, and it's hard to see anybody matching her now as they come up towards the 150 turn. And she goes through in 1:54.38, pacing around the 39 second mark, and she's consistent on both her second and third 50s at around that pace. So another of the same would be about 2:33. Maybe she can pick up the pace and go faster than that. Certainly clear now about who's going to get second. Rowan Saunders has pulled away from the other two, so it's a race for third behind them. But Neve Green will hold on to this lead and take it in good style in a time of 2:33.01. second place. 2.4 behind was Lauren Saunders, 2:35.41 for her, and then another 2-second gap to third place, Ella Stevenson, 2:37.61. There's the full result. This, I think, will be not good enough, I don't think, to challenge the second heat, but a nice swim from the outside lane from Neve, entered on 2:36, so to progress to a 2:33 can only be good.
Our second heat has Rebecca Ogier from Hutchison in lane 1, Elise McQueenie, Addington in 2, Katie Shanahan, Bishop Briggs in 3, Morgan Anderson, Grove Academy in lane 4, Rachel Saunders, George Watson's in 5, Erin Cruikshank from Whitburn Academy in lane number 6. Katie Shanahan, a strong favourite in this one, 5 seconds faster the entry times for this event. She's the national champion. She's already gone out and is about a body length clear already. Morgan Anderson, Elias McQueenie, and also Rachel Saunders vying for second place. 33.14, so that's actually 2.5 seconds faster than the previous heat. In fact, most of the girls under that first split. So Katie Shanahan, no surprise to see her 4 or 5 metres clear, approaching the halfway mark. Second place, Elias McQueenie from Uddingston. Morgan Anderson in lane 4, holding third. Katie Shanahan, see what split is. 108.48, so around 35 seconds. So we're looking at time probably around the 2:18 mark. Moment pretty close for the minor places. Minor places, Elias McQueenie and Morgan Anderson in 2 and 4, with Rachel Saunders a little bit further back in 4th place. This is certainly Katie Shannon's race by some margin. Seventh at the British Championships. Katie, the development squad member, and certainly a very promising, talented swimmer. So 1:44.29. Looks as though she just wants to get the job done. Time will be irrelevant. It's probably going to be just inside the 2:20 mark. Second place, Elias McQueenie, is clear. Third place is still with Morgan Anderson. So well clear. Camera shot, she's probably about 10 metres clear coming into the wall. 2:18.43, just picked it up a little bit over that final stretch. Second place will indeed be Elias McQueenie, and third place Morgan Anderson. 2:26.68 is our second place time, and 2:30.06, so that will be our medalist. Katie quite happy with that. A little bit slower than the entry time, nevertheless, job done.
Yeah, great technician, Katie, isn't she? A real promising talent for the future, and you see her dipping into the wall there. That's how to finish on the backstroke. So nice swim yet again from Katie. We look forward to great things from her this season. 15 to 16-year-old girls next up. So once they line up through the field for you, Sophie Cameron goes for Belmont Academy in 1, Victoria McCormick of Prestwick in 2, Rachel Grant of Garnock Academy in 3, Alice Meldrum, Calder Glen in 4, Nina Johnson of Larwood High School in 5, Mary Brown from Gala Shields in lane 6. So 4 in a line at the bottom of the pool, lanes 1 through to 4, coming down the first length. Maybe lane 4 just edging into lead, Alice Meldrum. Right beside her in lane 3. In fact, now moving into the lead, I think, in lane 3 is Rachel Grant, Garnock Academy, and she leads it by half a second now, 35.11. Rachel Grant, second recently at West District event. second as well in the Scottish Summer Meet. She is maybe a metre or so up now. We see the start of an arrowhead forming. It all goes to seeding. That's how the shape of the race should be. Rachel now has opened up the lead quite well in the second 50, 1:12.82 for her. So she was up by half a second. Now she's up by 1.8 from Alice Meldrum, Alderglen in second spot. And the senior bronze squad member. Another one performed well at the Scottish Summer Meet. Just missed the medal there, fourth place. She is now quite a long way behind our leader, Rachel. Just be setting a time that might be of interest for the next heat. We've got some very talented swimmers to come. 1:50.86, so that was pretty much exactly a 38 there. So another of those would be at 2:28. Maybe she can pick up a little bit on that down this final length. No doubt she's going to take this comfortably. Alice Meldrum looks set for second from Victoria McCormack. Although Victoria may be coming back at Alice a little bit in the last half length. Rachel Grant well clear, and she comes down into the last couple of metres. It's a comfortable victory, 2:28.69 for her. Second in the end very comfortably was claimed for Alice Meldrum. And third, facing a little bit of late pressure actually, Victoria McCormack. Nina Johnson was coming back fast at the close there, but not quite enough to get into third spot. Now you see Rachel coming in. And really still ahead there as she goes through her last few metres and nicely judging the finish. Well, this should be a good one, Robert.
Certainly should. Ellie Shields, Ellie Turner, Molly Shan, Banff Academy in 1, Erica Chopek, Kelso High in 2, Ellie Shields, Bearsden Academy in 3, Ellie Turner, Woodmill in 4, Lane Murray, Ellen Academy in 5, Mary McDonald, Bucksburn in 6. There's 15, 16-year-olds, 16-year-old Ellie Shields in lane number 3, Ellie Turner in lane number 4. 15-year-old, both national champions. Shields was second at the British age groups, so she'll certainly be the favourite in this one. She's swimming particularly well, not just on the backstroke but everything else. Ellie Turner's also doing the same in the east, a lot of the events. Certainly this is the strongest event for both these girls, 32-37. So the advantage with Ellis at the moment. So already they've pulled 3 or 4 metres clear. Certainly for the rest of the field, you fancy it's all about third place, Erica Chopek and Elaine Murray in 2 and 5. Halfway, and, still the advantage with Ellis Shields. 107.59, 107.10. 107.70 rather, 11 hundredths. Very good turn there from both girls. So if anything, it's Ellie Turner just beginning to edge ahead. Ellis Shields still well there, and Ellis just beginning to stretch those arms. Very important to get this turn nailed. And off the wall, 142.63, half a second advantage. Good turn from both these girls, slightly better turn from Ellie Turner, and she's coming back. It's still Ellis Shields holding her. There's still about half a metre in it. And that lead is next to nothing as Ellie Turner comes back. Ellis and Ellie. It's Ellie still fighting hard to try and just nail this one, but Ellis Shields is just beginning to pull that little bit extra down this final 5 metres. Ellis Shields take this 5.42, 2:17.57, 2:17.99, and Erica Chopek from Kelso will be third in 2:26.60. So we suspected a nice tight finish. Great to see both girls having a nice chat on how it went at the end. Both delighted, I'm sure, with how the race went.
How much breath they'll have for serious chatting, I'm not sure, because that was a storming race. It did look like it was Ellie Turner in the turns, but Ellis Shields in the swim. And really just as they came up towards the 150, there seemed to be a time where Ellis just got about a meter's advantage, and then after that she never gave it up.
We just find maybe just that little bit extra experience, just pull that little bit extra out in that final stretch.
So we have the 17 to 19s in the water now. You can see an empty lane in lane 3, so no sign of Caitlin Duffy.
She pulled out the 100. I think she had a problem with the 100, Duncan, so
yes.
Sad that she's not in this one.
Yep, so we have 5 swimmers going here. Emma Scully, Glasgow School of Sport in 1, Jessica Damon of Boroughmuir in 2, Sarah Fraser of Dice Academy in 4, Lily Kroll of Aboyne in 5, and Laura McLeay of Cliveview Academy in 6. So it makes it a little odd with an empty lane in lane 3, because there's a little bit of detachment between the swimmers closest to the camera there and these others on the other side. And Jessica Damon, who perhaps is the favourite here now in Caitlin Duffy's absence, 33.35, leads by 4/10 from Emma Scully beside her. These two certainly have been a bit of a jump over Sarah Fraser and Lily Kroll in lanes 4 and 5. Jess Damon swimming for Boroughmuir is looking pretty good here. East District Age Group champion a couple of weeks ago. She swam really well in the Commonwealth pool in the National Short Course Championships, 5th place in that open competition, so she is a swimmer in form, and strong backstroke, a strong fly swimmer as well. She leads by just over half a second as we get a nice pan down onto her. See there, she's meter and a half up, and I think building that lead now. Third, you can see Sarah Fraser, bronze medalist in the 100 this morning, leads Lily Kroll, looking for a second bronze. As we focus now on Jessica Damon, and she is now about 3 meters clear with 50 to go, 1:46.85. Interesting, around about 4 seconds back on the times from the 15-16-year-olds, so it just shows the pace that they were going at, faster than these older swimmers. But this is going to be Jessica Damon's race. The time's probably incidental here. This is about the gold, and it's going to be around the Boroughmuir swimmers' neck very soon. As she comes down now, 10 meters to go. Jessica Damon well clear. Emma Scully in 2nd place. Still in 3rd place is lane 4, Sarah Fraser. So that will be the 1, 2, 3, 2:23.56. Jessica Damon's winning time. 2nd, 2:26.23 for Emma Scully, and 3rd Sarah Fraser in 2:31.74. Confirmation of the result there. So we'll be going to presentation podium, and then we'll be to our finals. So presentations now for the girls backstroke. So the presentations just take a little while to get themselves ready, but it will be the girls, 13, 14-year-olds who will be making their way up. Here they come now towards the podium area. Hard-working technical officials there get a little break, nice bit of water. There's another serious conversation. Nice reclining pose there to receive the update from the coach. That was Erica Chopek, maybe, although she should be getting ready for a presentation. Here we go with the 13-14s. Morgan Anderson of Grove takes the bronze. Silver medalist Elise McQueenie from Uddingston. Katie Shannon from Bishop Briggs. Gold medalist, that was a very impressive swim, 2:18.43. Some 8 seconds faster than second place Elise McQueenie. Schools medals always nice to have, of course. Gives you some good bragging rights when you go back to school on Monday. Hopefully a good mention in dispatches from the headmaster or mistress. The 15-16s now. Bronze medalist Erica Chopek from Kelso High School. Silver medalist from Woodmill High School, Ellie Turner. Just losing out in that tough fought battle. And taking the gold from Bearsden Academy, Ellis Shields. Bearsden Academy swim team, proudly displayed on her hoodie. So the borders, Fife and Bartonshire all up in dispatches there. Maxina coaching at West Lothian there, we shot of her. So we move to the 17-19-year-olds. 200 backstroke. Medalist bronze medal from Dice Academy, Sarah Fraser. Silver medalist from Glasgow School of Sport, Emma Scully. Good number of very strong swimmers at Glasgow School of Sport. Really get the focus on the sport along with the academics. And the gold medalist from Boroughmuir, Jessica Damon. Very nice, solid swim. That was another pretty big win. About 2.5 seconds clear. So good stuff. Again, there. So we have
some of Jess's teammates there from London Baths. Katie Smith, Sheen Ramsey, I think.
Wasn't. So we've got 4 races to come. These are our finals for the 12 and unders. First up will be the girls 50 butterfly. And you'll remember that there was very little in it between the two who won the 2 heats, Lexy Anderson and Grace Courtney. 600ths of a second separated them, so this one could be right up there in the pantheon of tight finishes in Scottish schools racing. The girls are up there at the blocks, just I think about to be introduced to the crowd here at the Dolan Aquatic Centre. Just waiting to get shots of them. Here they are. There's the swimmers I was talking about, the 2 fastest. Up the lineup then in lane 1, representing Lastway Primary, is Ailey Armstrong. For a shot of her, there you can see her in the purple cap. In lane 2, representing Morriswood, is Chloe Barron. Lane 3 from Noble Hill Primary is Lexy Anderson. In 4, representing Loretto, is Grace Courtney. In 5, from George Watson's, Kate Carruthers. And in lane 6, from Mearns Primary School, Heidi Wren. A shot there of Kate. She goes through her pre-race routine. This is a big race for these youngsters. They'll want to do well here. So away we go. So as I said earlier, it was Lexy Anderson and Grace Courtney really couldn't be separated from their two heats, but it's Grace in lane 4 who got the better start, so she's got the edge here. Kate Carruthers also starting pretty well in lane 5, and she may have second place here just behind Grace in the dark cap in lane 4. Now Lexy Anderson is starting to make her move, and she's just about alongside now. We thought it might be tight. It's certainly tight. Chloe Barron is in the mix in lane 2 as well. So the number of swimmers could take this one. Who gets the touch? It goes to lane 4 and lane 2. Dead heating in 33.31, and they were just 300ths ahead of lane 3, Lexy Anderson. Well, what a race that was. We see there the swim in lane 3, and she got the bronze, but she looks pretty happy about it. What a race, a dead heat. Grace Courtney and Chloe Barron could not be separated, 33.31, and just 300ths behind them was that swimmer there. Fantastic stuff. Lexy Anderson will be on the podium. Whoa, boys, follow that.
Well, we have a strong fancy in this one. Duncan Stefan Kravitz, around about 3.5 seconds faster. He's in lane 3. So he'll certainly be one they've all got to beat. So we have Bale McGinley, Madison Primary School in 1, Kieran Lennox, Newmaker in 2, Stephen Kravitz, Windigo in 3, Murray Dixon, Beckenhurst in 4, Scott Fleming, Western Overton in 5, Ian McLaughlin, Kellens in lane number 6. Stephen Kravitz got off to a cracking start in the heats. Let's see what he can do in this one. Nice clean start from the looks of things. And already went through that red cap. Stephen Kravitz, body length clear. Murray Dixon in lane 4, possibly holding second from Kieran Lennox in 2. And no doubt about who's going to take this. Stephen Kravitz, miles clear, 3 or 4 metres clear from Murray Dixon. It's Stephen Kravitz. All about second place. Stephen takes that 29.59. Second place is Murray Dixon, and third place Scott Fleming. So 32.80 and 33.61 our second and third place swimmers. A very delighted young man. 29.59, 29.78 in the heats. So it just gets faster and faster.
You'll be pleased with that. He had his professional face on there though, not giving too much away. So we move to freestyle now. The girls, we have Abby McClellan of St George's going in lane 1. Darcy Brown from the High School of Dundee is in 2. Jessica Dempster, you're seeing her there. She goes for St Paul's in 3. Natalie Marshall of Croftmalloch is in 4. Hannah Morrison of Crombie in 5. And Alyssa Martin of St Matthews is in lane 6. Nice shot there of Hannah Morrison, Crombie Primary in lane 5. Fastest here, about 7/10, Jessica Dempster from Natalie Marshall. Darcy Brown, another 8/10 or so back. So that's the fancied order maybe from the evidence of the heats. Certainly getting Jessica Dempster getting a good start in lane 3, but going with her in 4 is Natalie Marshall. These two pretty close here. Behind them is Darcy Brown in the red cap in lane 2, but it does look like Jessica Dempster just has the advantage here, although not by that much from Natalie Marshall as they come in. But that's going to be the 1, 2, 3, I think. Dempster, Marshall, Brown as they come in. 29.85. Jessica Dempster exactly the same time as she was in the heat. 30.11. Nice improvement from Natalie. 4/10 faster than she was earlier. And Darcy Brown 31.10 also improves by about 1/4 of a second. There you see them coming in at the far end, and maybe not the best of touches from Jessica Dempster there, but she was comfortable enough to take the win there. 2 West Lothian primary schools taking first and second.
So on to the boys' equivalent. Kane Buchanan, St Joseph's in 1. Sam Parker, Murrayfield in 2. Luke Hornsey, Sanderson's in 3. Jake Gibson, South Park in 4. Daniel Ritchie, Broden Primary in lane 5. Angus Craven, Robert Gordon's College in lane number 6. So 29.91, Luke Hornsey, it's the second faster than Jake Gibson. So off to another clean start here. Hornsey strikes the front, Jake Gibson with him. These two just a little bit clear of Sam Parker in lane number 2. At the moment still Luke Hornsey looks good. Jake Gibson still chasing him. Luke Hornsey's going to hold him by about a body length. Luke Hornsey's going to take this. Jake Gibson, third place, looks as though it's just going to be Sam Parker, 29.18. So taking roughly 3/4 of a second off his time from the heats. 30.93, similar time for Jake Gibson for second, and 31.51, bang on the same time for Sam Parker in third place. So a fairly comfortable victory there for Luke in that one, Duncan.
Yep, that's another one. So we had the 2 Trinent primaries, Sanderson's Wine there and Windy Ghoul before that, taking the boys' gold. So Stephen Gravis and Luke Hornsey. So some celebration in Trinent in East Lothian as a result of that. Final set of presentations. This second session seems to have whizzed past yet again. Of course, we've still got another session to go, so we've got time for tea, time to give us a wee tweet and encourage the swimmers, celebrate the successes from this session, encourage the swimmers for the third session, hashtag SSSC18. So here are what a tight contest this was. Lexy Anderson, the bronze medalist from Noble Hill Primary, 33.34. I think that smile has stayed on her face ever since she raced. She was delighted when she finished her race, even though it was bronze. And a tie, our first tie of the day for the gold. Chloe Barron of Morriswood and Grace Courtney from Loretto. So they share golds apiece. Very well done.
I think that smile will be on there all day from Lexy Anderson, as you say, Duncan. She was delighted, even with her third place, that smile at the finish.
Yeah, lovely to see. Boys next. Bronze medalist Scott Fleming from Wester Overton. The silver medalist Murray Dixon of Beaconhurst. You see here Iona McInnes doing these presentations. The youngster going off to her first Commonwealth Games, the World Junior bronze medalist in the 200 fly in September. Stefan Kravis, what a swim from him, 29.59, taking the gold there for Windy Ghoul Primary. Over 3 seconds faster than second place, so just storming stuff there. Freestylers will be next up. As the water is just calm for the first time today. And the bronze medalist, Darcy Brown from the High School of Dundee. Silver medalist from Croft Malloch, Natalie Marshall. And the gold medalist from St Paul's Primary, Jessica Dempster. Good West Lothian success there. Kiana swam in the morning session, so not too often that you have a swimmer getting to present the medals. But of course, a great inspiration to these youngsters, just showing what you can do with application, progress on to the Commonwealth Games, represent your country. Our final presentation then, the boys 50 freestyle. Bronze medalist from Murrayfield Primary, Sam Parker. Silver medalist, Jake Gibson from South Park Primary. And the gold medalist, Sanderson's Wine Primary, Luke Hornstein. So well done to all of our medalists, all of our athletes who swum really well on this second session. And we'll be back again for final session swimming. Should be another good one. Thanks to those guys. Been working hard all afternoon. Keep us straight. I don't know what that's describing. We'll not go there, I don't think. Look like we're on a wobbly bicycle. And there you get a nice view of the Dolan Aquatic Centre. You look down from on high to a quiet pool. So for the now, we'll wish you farewell. We'll be back for session 3. But before that, we have a special presentations to make. I think this is for the top overall performance for the 12s and unders. Scott Haxton there, president of the Scottish School Swimming Association, making the presentation. I'm sort of guessing as to who that is. I'm wondering whether it is Jessica Dempster, but I don't know that, so we'll not guess there, but we do know who this one is. We saw that fantastic 50 fly. Stephen Travis from Sanderson's Y Primary takes the award for the boys. No surprise that that was the top overall boys performance, I don't think, Robert?
I don't think so, no. Certainly been swimming very strongly the last few months, Stephen. Scottish Schools president Scott Haxton on the podium. It was indeed Jessica Dempster who was our top 12-year-old. A good spot, Duncan.
So yes, so 12 and under, of course, their date is done. We don't see them in the final session. They get an early night.
Hopefully they'll be back as 13-year-olds for the schools next year if they can qualify. That'll be their next aim. If they can, they sometimes get the opportunity of 2 swims, which is the maximum swimmers can do.
Yep, so we'll sign off for now. We'll see you back later on. But for the moment, from myself, Duncan McKinnon, from my co-commentator, Robert Taylor, we wish you a very good afternoon.